Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Let's do some Radha Jap. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha. Okay. We are reading Bhagwat Geeta as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedant Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are on chapter 10, text 27. Of horses know me to be Uchay Shrava, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavat, and among men, I am the monarch. Let's read the purport. The devotee demigod, the devotee demigods and the demons, asuras, once took part in churning the sea. From this churning, nectar and poison were produced, and Lord Shiva drank the poison. From the nectar were produced many entities, of which there was a horse named Uchai-shrava. Another animal produced from the nectar was an elephant named Airavat. Because these two animals are produced from nectar, they have special significance and they are representatives of Krishna. Amongst the human beings, the king is the representative of Krishna because Krishna is the maintainer of the universe. And the kings who are appointed on account of their godly qualifications are maintainers of their kingdoms. Kings like Maharaj Yudhishthir, Maharaj Parikshit, and Lord Ram were all highly righteous kings who always thought of the citizens' welfare. In Vedic literature, the king is considered to be the representative of God. In this age, however, with the corruption of the principles of religion, monarchy decayed monarchy decayed and is now finally abolished. It is to be understood that in the past, however, people were more happy under righteous kings. Yes. Let's read text 28. Of weapons I am the thunderbolt, among cows I am the surbhi, of causes for procreation I am Kandarpa, Kandarpa, the god of love, and for serpents I am Vasuki. Let's read the purport. The thunderbolt, indeed a mighty weapon, represents Krishna's power. In Krishna Lok, in the spiritual sky, there are cows which can be milked at any time, and they give as much milk as one likes. Of course, such cows do not exist in the material world, but there is mention of them in Krishna Lok. The Lord keeps many such cows which are called Surbhi. It is stated that the Lord is engaged in herding the Surbhi cows. Kandarpa is the sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representative of Krishna. Sometimes, sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna, but sex for the generation of good children is called Kandarpa and represents Krishna. Let's move to text 29. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. And among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varun. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama. And among the dispensers of law, I am Yam, the Lord of Death. Let's read the purport. Among the many hooded Nag serpents, Ananta is the greatest, as is the demigod Varun among the aquatics. They both represent Krishna. There is also a planet of Pitas, that is, ancestors, presided over by Aryama, who represents Krishna. There are many living entities who give punishment to the miscreants, and among them, Yam is the chief. Yam is situated in a planet near this earthly planet. After death, those who are very sinful are taken there, and Yam arranges different kinds of punishments for them. Let's read text 30. Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am Time. Among beasts, I am Lion. And among birds, I am Garud. Let's read the purport. Diti and Aditi are two sisters. The sons of Aditi are called Adityas, and the sons of Diti are called Daityas. All the Adityas and devotees are the devotees of Lord, and all the Daityas are atheistics. Although Prahlad was born in the family of Daityas, he was great devotee from his childhood. Because of his devotional service and godly nature, he is considered to be a representative of Krishna. There are many subduing principles, but time wears down all things in the material universe and so represents Krishna. Of the many animals, the lion is the most powerful and ferocious, and of the million varieties of birds, Garud, the bearer of Lord Vishnu, is the greatest. Let's move to text 31. Of purifiers, I am the wind of the wielders of weapon. I am Ram of fishes. I am the shark. Sorry, I read it wrong. Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Ram. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganga. Let's read the purport. Of all the aquatics, the shark is the one of the biggest and is certainly the most dangerous to man. Thus, the shark represents Krishna. Let's move to text 32. Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjun. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. Let's read the purport. Among the created manifestations, the first is the creation of the total material elements. As explained before, the cosmic manifestation is created and conducted by Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshayashi Vishnu, and Shirodakshayashi Vishnu, Dakshayayi Vishnu. And then again it is annihilated by Lord Shiv. Brahma is a secondary creator. All these agents of creation, maintenance, and annihilation are incarnations of the material qualities of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, He is the beginning, the middle, and the end of all creation. For advanced education, there are various kinds of books of knowledge, such as the four Vedas, their six supplements, the Vedant Sutra, books of logic, books of religiosity, and the Puranas. So, altogether, there are 14 divisions of books of education. Of these, the book which represents Adhyatma Vidya, that is spiritual knowledge, In particular, the Vedanta Sutra represents Krishna. Among logicians, there are different kinds of arguments. Supporting one's argument with evidence that also supports the opposing side is called Jalpa. Merely trying to defeat one's opponent is called Vitanda. No, Vitanda. But the actual conclusion is called Vad. This conclusive truth is the representation of Krishna. This is how Krishna comes in as the decision, even in thoughts, not just in actions. Let's move to 33. Text 33. Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma. Let's read the purport. Akar, the first letter of the Sanskrit alphabet, is the beginning of the Vedic literature. Without Akar, nothing can be sounded. Therefore, it is the beginning of sound. In Sanskrit, there are also many compound words, of which the dual word like Ram Krishna is called Dvandva. In this compound, the words Ram and Krishna have the same form, and therefore the compound is called dual. Among all kinds of killers, time is the ultimate because time kills everything. Time is the representative of Krishna because in due course of time there will be a great fire and everything will be annihilated. Among the living entities who are creators, Brahma, who had 4 heads, is the chief. Therefore, he is the representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Once again. Let's move to text 34. I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Let's read the purport. As soon as a man is born, he dies at every moment. Thus, death is devouring every living entity at every moment. But the last stroke is called death itself. That death is Krishna. As for future development, all living entities undergo 6 basic changes. They are born, they grow, they remain for some time, they reproduce, they dwindle, and finally they vanish. Of these changes, the first is deliverance from the womb, and that is Krishna. The first generation is the beginning of all future activities. The 7 opulences listed, that is fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience, are considered feminine. If a person possesses all of them or some of them, he becomes glorious. If a man is famous as a righteous man, that makes him glorious. Sanskrit is a perfect language and is therefore very glorious. If after studying one can remember a subject matter, he is gifted with a good memory or smriti and the ability not only to read many books on different subject matters but to understand them and apply them when necessary is called intelligence or medha, another opulence. The ability to overcome unsteadiness is called firmness and steadfastness, which is called dhrati. And when one is fully qualified yet is humble and gentle, and when one is able to keep his balance both in sorrow and in the ecstasy of joy, he has the opulence called patience. that is Kshama. Let's move to text 35. Of the hymns in Sam Ved, I am the Bharat Sam, and of pottery, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am Margashirsha, that is November, December. And of seasons, I am flower bearing spring. Let's read the purport. It has already been explained by the Lord that amongst all the Vedas, he is the Samved. The Samved is rich with beautiful songs played by the various demigods. One of these songs is the Bharat Sam, which has an exquisite melody and is sung at midnight. In Sanskrit, there are different rules that regulate poetry, rhyme, and meter are not written with. Sorry. In Sanskrit, there are definite rules that regulate poetry. Rhyme and meter are not written whimsically, as in much modern poetry. Amongst the regulated poetry, the Gayatri Mantra, which is chanted by the duly qualified Brahmins, is the most prominent. The Gayatri Mantra is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the Gayatri Mantra is especially meant for God realization, it represents the Supreme Lord. This mantra is meant for spiritually advanced people, and when one attains success in chanting it, he can enter into the transcendental position of Lord. One must first acquire the qualities of the perfectly situated person, the qualities of goodness according to the laws of material nature, in order to chant the Gayatri Mantra. The Gayatri Mantra is very important in Vedic civilization and is considered to be the sound incarnation of Brahma. Brahma is its initiator and it is passed down from him in disciplic succession. The month of November and December is considered the best of all months because in India, grains are collected from the fields at this time and the people become very happy. Of course, spring is a season universally liked because it is neither too hot or not too cold, and the flowers and trees blossom and flourish. In spring, there are also many ceremonies commemorating Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, this is considered to be the most joyful of all seasons, and it is the representative of Supreme Lord Krishna. Let's move to text 36. I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong. Let's read the purport. There are many kinds of cheaters all over the universe. Of all cheating processes, gambling stands supreme and therefore represents Krishna. As the supreme, Krishna can be more deceitful than any mere man. If Krishna chooses to deceive a person, no one can surpass him in his deceit. Sorry. His greatness is not simply one-sided, it is all-sided. Among the victorious, he is victory. He is the splendor of the splendid. Among the enterprising and industrious, he is the most enterprising, the most industrious. Among adventurers, he is the most adventurous. And among the strong, he is the strongest. When Krishna was present on earth, no one could surpass him in strength. Even in his childhood, he lifted Govardhan Hill. No one can surpass him in cheating. No one can surpass him in splendor. No one can surpass him in victory. And no one can surpass him in enterprise. And no one can surpass him in strength. Let's move to text 37. Of the descendants of Rashni, I am Vasudev, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjun. Of the sages, I am Vyas, and among great thinkers, I am Ushna. Let's read the purport. Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Baldev is Krishna's immediate expansion. Both Lord Krishna and Baldev appeared as sons of Vasudev, so both of them may be called Vasudeva. From another point of view, because Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, all the forms of Krishna that appear elsewhere are his expansion. That's how they think. Vasudev is Krishna's immediate expansion, so Vasudev is not different from Krishna. It is to be understood that the Vasudev referred to in this verse of Bhagwat Geeta is Baldev or Balram because he is the original source of all incarnations and thus he is the sole source of Vasudev. The immediate expansions of the Lord are called Swamsha, Swamsha, that is personal expansion. And there are also expansion called Vibhinna, Vibhinnamsha, which is separated expansions. Okay. Amongst the sons of Pandu, Arjun is famous as Dhananjay. He is the best of men and therefore represents Krishna. Among the Munis, all learned men conversant in Vedic literature, which is Munis, Vyas is the greatest because he explained Vedic knowledge in many different ways for the understanding of common mass of people in this age of Kali. And Vyas is also known as an incarnation of Krishna. Therefore, Vyas also represents Krishna. Kavis are those who are capable of thinking thoroughly on any subject matter. Among the Kavis, Ushna Shukracharya was the spiritual master of the demons, who was an extremely intelligent and far-seeing politician. Thus, Shukracharya is another representative of the opulence of Krishna. Let's move to text 38. Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of the wise, I am the wisdom. Let's read the purport. There are many suppressing agents, of which the most important are those that cut down miscreants. When miscreants are punished, the agency of chastisement represents Krishna. Among those who are trying to be victorious in some field of activity, the most victorious element is morality. Among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking, and meditating, silence is most important because by silence one can make progress very quickly. Oh. The wise man is he who can discriminate between matter and spirit, between God's superior and inferior natures. Such knowledge is Krishna himself. Yes. Let's read one last, okay? It's a small one. They're all very small text. Let's read till 4. I think we can finish chapter 10 today. Let's do that. Let's move to text 39. Furthermore, O Arjun, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or moving or non moving, that can exist without me. Let's read the purport. Everything has a cause, and the cause or seed of manifestation is Krishna. Without Krishna's energy, nothing can exist. Therefore, he is called omnipotent. Without his potency, neither the movable nor the immovable can exist. Whatever existence is not founded on the energy of Krishna is called Maya, that which is not. Wow. Let's read text 40. O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no need to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences. Let's read the purport. As stated in the Vedic literature, although the opulences and energies of the Supreme are understood in various ways, there is no limit to such opulences. Therefore, not all the opulences and energies can be explained. Simply a few examples are being described to Arjun to pacify his inquisitiveness. Yes. Let's move to text 41. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Let's read the purport. Any glorious or beautiful existence should be understood to be but a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulence, whether it be in the spiritual or material world. Anything extraordinarily opulent should be considered to represent Krishna's opulence. Let's move to text 42, which is the last text of this chapter. But what need is there, Arjun, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. Let's read the purport. The Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universes by his entering into all things as the Super Soul. The Lord here tells Arjun that there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as Super Soul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, on down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. This is a mission that regularly propounds that worship of any demigod will lead one to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Supreme Goal. But worship of demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiv represent only part of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. He is the origin of everyone born, and no one is greater than him. He is Ash- Asa Maurdhva, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. In the Padma Puran, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiv, becomes at once an atheist. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Krishna and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all pervading by the expansion of his partial representation. The super soul who enters into everything that is. Pure devotees therefore concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is a way of pure devotional service. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushana, a great acharya in disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes this commentary on this chapter by saying, Yak Shakti Leshat Leshat Suryadya Bhavanti Ati Ugra Tejasa Yad Amshina Ratam Vishwam Sa Krishno Dashama Chate. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets its power, and by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Krishna is worshipable. Thus end the Bhagwat Gita purports to the 10th chapter of the Srimad Bhagwat Gita in the matter of opulence of the Absolute. Let's end with Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha, Radha, Shri Radha.